Here on QVC.
These are my favorite things to bring home. I think that if you live in a little town called Des Moines, Iowa, and you couldn't be further from the tropics, I mean, I feel that way in Pennsylvania. Like, this is a way to make over your garden so that when you walk out every single day, you don't realize where you are because it seems like a tropical escape and getaway.
It is a jolt of the tropics in this four-piece SunPatiens collection today.
Well, no, it's 8-piece.
Oh, I'm sorry, four varieties. Four varieties,
pieces.
Yes, 8 pieces, my fault.
Which I will tell you, the fact that you are getting these SunPatiens for around $5 each.
That's right.
I was telling Kelly it was like twice as much at my gardening store next to my house with all of this variety of colors. This is another one that you feel really great about. 85,000 sets of these have been spoken for. They're a constant reorder and really an ask back from you every single year. These are considered an annual,
That's
but
right.
let's talk about the importance of why you need both perennials and annuals.
Great point. You know, annuals are something we plant. They live for one growing season, but, you know, they make the most of it, right? They flower and flower and flower. And we have to show you what goes on with SunPatiens here because here's the deal. I'm going to let you hold the ship sample. That's what you're going to get when you open the box, okay? Like a plant you'd go pick up at the garden center, except Cottage Farms through QVC is getting those to you at the right time for planting. You open that up, you've got 8 plants in the box. But then I want to come over to me for just a minute here.
So good.
I maybe should have done this the other way around. We should have given you, so we're making your, no black thumbs here. We're making everybody a gardener today. Look at this. So in about a month, this is what's going to happen. You're going to plant that, Courtney, on the day that you get your box from Cottage Farms, and a month later, maybe with a little water and just a well wish, a little shot of our Bud and Bloom booster, boom, here you go, 4 weeks later, loaded with color. This is Merlot Magic right here, this super intense.
I just want to tell you, a lot of you are picking up more than one set. You guys are getting to see these first. It is a set of 8, 4 different varieties. They're around $5 a plant. I just want to show you from this little plant.
Here we go again.
Keep your growing guide. Like, this is also what I love about QVC. Like, there's not a growing guide professional like in a lot of places that you buy plants. Last year, my husband just made a joke because I was doing really well with my gardening, but I put all the SunPatiens up front because I was like, this is a tiny lady plant. Like, she'll be a great border.
Oh, no.
And then it was like, we just had
let's show you what's next.
and bushels
Look at this up
of
here.
Flowers. And because we've had such a mild winter so far, we had this color in our garden well into October.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No, these things will flower like machines all the way until frost. And if you've not done a whole lot of gardening before and you're like, gosh, where do I start? This is about the easiest entry point for you to start putting some beautiful plants in your outdoor living spaces, maybe on your front doorstep, to really start to connect that personality that's inside your house to the personality that you can have in your outdoor landscape. We're taking all the guesswork out. We've got these guaranteed for 90 days. That's practically half the growing season, or maybe the whole growing season for northern climates. We're going to take care of you here, bottom line. And I want to show you again, just look at the color in these images. Look at what these will do for you in the garden. Domes of flowers. I mean, just orbs of beautiful tropical punch flowers. And the colors in this Heart's Desire collection especially, I think, are some of the more vibrant options that we have in SunPatiens. Of course, Cottage Farms has been here on QVC for 19 years. We've probably been selling SunPatiens for most of those 19 years, I think. We know that the QVC customer out there loves these, and why not? Look at the flowers, look at the performance. All of this happening in one growing season.
Well, and going back to like the colors that you're getting in these different 4 varieties, I mean, look how vibrant they are, but also so different. A lot of times when you're shopping SunPatiens, like, you may get a white, but that may be the only choice.
Sure, right.
You know, and you love the different varieties because especially if you're going to throw these in containers, I mean, they are really stately. I mean, to think about lining like a sidewalk or even a driveway with these, I mean, they're almost majestic.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's that, my personal favorite out of the litter here today, that's Merlot Magic. Again, that super vibrant, intense fuchsia color. Just imagine that in matching containers on the front doorstep. Well, I mean, you're getting 8 of these, so you might have multiple containers of these in this sort of, kaleidoscope of colors. And of course that white too. SunPatiens, can work in sun, they can work in little part shade. The great thing about that white selection in particular is that it's a great offset for shadier conditions, right? That's like a light bulb for shade. You put that next to something else and wow, the glow that comes from something so crisp and so white. We're giving you a lot of colors to choose from today.
Which is awesome. And remember, it ships to you like this. Please don't make the same mistake that I did and put this in the front of your border.
Right?
Like, it's not going to look bad if you do. Like, it's just a really gorgeous
grow, right?
plant. And going back to, okay, how many of us set aside that weekend in April and May where we get everything in order in our garden? You're like, okay, I'm ready for you to be full size already. In 1 month's time, all of the plants that you're seeing from these SunPatiens are live plants. This is 1 month, and then how would you describe the months
this
down
is
here?
easily the third month. So if I was holding the 1 month.
And this is incredible.
Look at
Here,
this.
I'll hold the 1 month.
You hold the 1 month. Let's do this step 1, 2, 3. You know, we have that little you see the image up there in the corner of what you're going to get.
Look at this.
Courtney's holding that 1 month, and I'm holding,
And
month
then,
2 and beyond.
And then the baby.
Right? Wow.
Like,
all
this is
summer
the
long.
evolution of an amazing annual. And I promise you, even when you think about trying to find SunPatiens, a lot of times, especially like I say here in Pennsylvania, they don't arrive until like later in the season.
Right.
And you get one color, and they tend to be really expensive because remember, this is the one flower you're planting in your garden that until frost gives you continuous blooms.
That's right.
And so to be able to bring home 8 different plants, 4 different varieties for around $5 each is a moment where you make QVC your destination and Cottage Farms the people that you trust to build this gorgeous color. Now, I will say, like when you see them lined on this next still, if you are that person that's like, I don't do perennials, like I want to get like home one set and plant them and then like have color all season, to invest $42 in your garden to get this,
absolutely,
pretty big deal.
No, I mean, gosh, the return on the investment here to be able to see, as you so ably put it earlier, that punch of tropical color and that sort of that drama and that vibrance that plants like this can add to the garden, and so quickly too. I mean, we've been sort of banging on here about how fast these things grow, and they really deliver on that promise here. Again, backed, of course, by Cottage Farms' 90-day guarantee on this as well.
Well, and when you see the size of these, I mean, even the pink ones that you see right here, if that were a hydrangea, that would be year 3 or 4.
Oh, for sure, right? I mean, these things are, I mean, look, the plants up here in the front are totally real, right? I mean, we grow these especially for our set support to show you what this is going to look like here at the end of the growing season. These are approaching 30 inches across. I mean, they're these beautiful mounds of flowers. They're showing off that pristine white, of course, that is such a great accent plant to so many other things, particularly maybe on the shadier side of the garage where you might have a whole mass planting of this collection.
Well, and sometimes I think about like areas of the country where you need color. So like I grew up in Georgia my entire life, and there comes that point in July where everything is so hot.
It's melted.
It's melted. And like to be able to have color like this, that in that hottest weather thrives beyond measure. And then being in Pennsylvania or Des Moines, Iowa, where sometimes you're like, okay, like show me life early, because winter was here and it was a long time. Out of everything I think that we have in the show, this is the most instant gratification.
Absolutely. No, hands down, the most gratifying and instantly so annual that we have in our entire collection, much less this show.
Well, so so for $42.68, brand new today, a lot of you are picking up more than one set. Does the designer in you mix and match? Are you like, what's the best way to make use of like a single order of 8 plants?
Absolutely. You know, if it was me, I would pick probably my 2 favorite colors. I'm really partial to this Merlot Magic, and I would use those in a really sort of high, kind of design, high focus moment. And then I would take the other colors, which I love them all, but I would take those colors and I would, mix and mingle them in with other things. I would use that white, like I was saying, to offset plants in a shadier situation. I would take something like this orange and put it in a place where I needed to sort of have some visual warmth, like maybe your outdoor kitchen, maybe your deck where you do a little grilling or something like that. Some place to really convey that sense of the season, that depth of that color. So, it would be my inclination to kind of piece things apart and kind of use them throughout the garden in specific, special ways, just like I was, a painter picking my paints.
Well, and I mean, how great, because you're still getting 4 different varieties. They'll be labeled for you when you bring them home. 200 orders have been placed with this brand new variety variety that you get 8 pieces of our Heart Desires SunPatiens. They thrive in the sun. They also thrive in shade, which is nice.
Yep.
I will say last year we put a daisy in our garden that was like, I just gotten done watching You've Got Mail, so clearly white daisies were the only option. But I remember putting our white SunPatiens that I ended up grabbing a few from our big box store, but I put it around the daisies so that when we were done, I still had that white backdrop next to like our Cuba Golds.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, white becomes so often a great complement to other, particularly greens too, that just, really set it off like that too. The beautiful thing about SunPatiens, of course, we're selling them and buying them for the flowers, but the foliage is really handsome too. The plant itself really holds up. They really just perform for weeks and weeks all season long. And again, if you're a new gardener, if you're just getting into this, you're dipping your toe, you tuned into QVC today thinking, I wasn't planning to buy any plants, but gosh, look at the color, look at the performance, the guarantee from Cottage Farms. Why not jump in today? Why not jump in and try something different?
Well, and the last thing that I'll leave you on, because I mean, we've had SunPatiens in our yard from Cottage Farms years past that have done well in sun, they've done well in shade. To be able to get this many blooms and this quick of a growth pattern, what's the watering stitch again? I always like to ask.
Well, the watering
I
stitch,
overwater everything.
Well, that's actually, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that they do drain out, right?
Yeah.
They have a sort of, well-drained soil, but they do kind of like their water. I mean, they are kind of a tropical plant. They're used to long growing seasons. They thrive in the heat. So, if you've got these in containers, you might be hitting these every couple of days. In the landscape, maybe a little bit different because sometimes real soil holds more water than just potting mix does. So, bottom line, all these care tips and tricks and insights are in the growing guide that will come in the box with your 8-piece Heart's Desire SunPatiens collection. So
awesome.
We've got it all there for you. We're making it easy.
Well, and please remember, these are not going to ship out until your zone. Like, I think QVC is like 7A. I live in Philly and that's 7B.
Yeah.
So that's even like nice because like you can kind of take a look at this and, for me, I'm in 7B. That ships out, I think that says 3/16. It's kind of also a nice gauge of like when to plant other things for you.
Yeah, the map there shows you, exactly when you can expect plants from Cottage Farms. If you match your zone to the date there on the side, it will give you a sense of when you can start to expect plants to arrive in your part of the country. And of course, that's one of the things that Cottage Farms does is takes the guesswork out of gardening. We're making it easy here through Cottage Farms.
Real quick, what is a tender plant? We were wondering what that was earlier.
Oh, so actually, that's a great example. Good point. So for annuals like the SunPatiens, tender plants, that's that little asterisk down there at the bottom, are going to ship 2 weeks later. Because, even if we shipped it to you at the end of March up here, it's still a little cold in Philadelphia.
Chilly sometimes.
So 2 weeks later gets it into April when our days are a little bit warmer.
Cool.
So, of course, all that information is on QVC.com when you go to buy. It's also on the Cottage Farms Direct page, too, because we don't want you to have to worry about when your plants are coming. We're taking care of that for you, and we're taking care of you with our Cottage Farms Direct warranty, because at the bottom of it, we are not happy if you're not happy.